Hello and welcome back to my channel. We're going to continue on with another installment with having to do with the disc brake conversion kit on the car. I got to do some trimming over here on the inner fender well. Here's I know it might be hard because it's all black, so like make a camera adjustment here. I wanted to bring a hard line, through this opening here, and it seemed fairly straightforward at first, and then when I was looking at it, I didn't have the upper control arm in place, so just sitting here. And once I did that, now it became a confined space because of the back part of the pivot point back here for the upper control arm. And so I went to the other side of the car, and the fender well fits a little bit differently, the stamping's differently, whatever, and there's more space in this area for that particular hard line over there to go through, and it's especially bent over the frame and all that stuff. So that one's pretty much a done deal over there. I ain't messing with that. But over here, I need some more room. So I'm going to trim this section out right here. There's the curve like ends right around here, so I don't want to cut back any farther than that if I have to. This is thick right here because I was trying to get the paint pen to work, and I pushed in on it a little bit, and all the paint started running out. So that's what we're going to be doing next. We're going to cut this out and take another look at how I'm going to route this stuff. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is put a radius in. I'm going to drill approximately right here, and then follow up with a 1/2 inch, which should be plenty for what this is. And this way, you just have a drilled natural radius here. You don't gotta get out a grinding wheel, and do a bunch of grinding and stuff. This way you can just finish it off, and it'll be pretty much done deal. So I trimmed it out. This is probably going to give me the room I need. And looking at this, I may just cut this piece out right here. I don't know. We'll wait and see how these lines are going to run before I make a decision on that. The next thing I was looking at is running brake lines from these two fittings. I don't think it really matters. One side is the top, is the right or the left. I mean, I can go in the instructions and look, but they're both the same kind of fitting, so I really don't think it matters. Looking at an internal diagram, I don't see any kind of like metering or braking distribution valving that's going on there. The way they got the internal milling going on there, it's just like an internal T. so I'm not going to worry about that kind of stuff. I was trying to vision out how I'm going to run this line, and the thing I was trying to do was, how am I going to make a bend coming off of this fitting that's going to go in between here and go down this way towards the fender well, and then go down to the frame rail and meet up with this brake line down here, which this is another issue I got to get into here in a little bit. So I got a tube bender, but the radius just isn't small enough, and I've seen it done before with a socket wrench, so I tried doing that. This particular one right here, it's 7/16. So the first time I tried to do this, it kinked on me, and I went looking for some fittings maybe to circumvent this problem, and I thought about it a little bit more, and I thought, you know, maybe if I heat this up, I can make this a little bit more malleable, and it'll bend for me. And I got just a regular butane blower torch here, and I heat this up, and I got a pretty good bend. It's a little out of uniform. This is like a first attempt. I got some scrap material here I'm working with, so I'm going to try this again, see if I can get a better bend. Okay, here we go. I got a little slightly smaller socket this time. This is a 9/16 all the way across. I'm going to heat this up, see what kind of results we get here. Yeah, see, so it kind of works. Alright, so let's see if I can bend this a little bit while it's snapping. See how flexible this is. And it's not bad. See, it's, get it up to the camera here. So it worked again pretty much, but you can tell it's not a perfect like U-hoop. If the camera will cooperate and focus. There we go. Get something big for it to. So yeah, so it looks pretty good, but not to my liking. Alright, we're back over to the car. So here's the top fitting I'd like to make this loop for. And it ain't, of course, ain't going to be this tall, but this is going to be like what I want, you know, what I'm going for here. And I think I might have to try and do with that socket. So have it down, or, you know, I'll probably have to use this amount just to make the bend, and then trim this back, this portion over here, right here, and then put the fitting on and crop this as close down as I can, and then the rest of this right here will follow on down to this part of the brake line for the right hand side of the car. And still haven't, now I still got that issue to deal with, because I'll get underneath the car again. I think I pointed this out in a previous episode. So I'm going to continue on trying to get this bend made, get this perfected, and if I can get a good one with a method, you know, I'll cut off a piece of line and start forming this up. Okay, so I got somewhat of a successful U-bend in this thing. It's not quite what I want, but this is like a second one I made, because the first one that came out good that I showed you, I tried to stick this in the flaring tool, and I forgot to account for the length of the fitting. So I go to try to put it in there and make the flare, and it just, I came up short. Then just whip this up just like to vision this out. So this is angling back towards the back a little bit. And that's okay. I think this is, I'm going to use that socket. So I've come to find out that when you go to do this and you heat it up, the trick to doing this is, once you heat this up and you commit to this bend, you really got to do it fast, because this stuff dissipates the heat real quick, and that's why I'm getting that odd shape in the horseshoe when I go to do this. So I'll practice a couple more times. I've run out of scrap material, so I'm gonna have to go into my new stuff. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get I'll make a really good bend, and then this is going to continue off of here. Now this is gonna be one continuous piece when I get to it, and it'll come down to the fender here and angle on down to the frame rail down here where this is gonna be. And that'll be for the right side wheel. And then as you look down, all you can see is the A-arm, and you can see a little peak of, right at the tip of my finger, is the fitting hole for where the two lines meet for the left-hand brake caliper. And I had an idea, I'm just going to run this off here, kind of bypass the battery cable, all that kind of stuff, and run it straight down. But then I thought, I don't got the A-arm on there. If I go do all that, I'm gonna be up, if this ain't gonna work. So I come to find that out. So now, coming off of here, I'm gonna have to go up just the top of this frame rail, right, go up and make a 90-degree, and come over here, and then go up this, come up, go over, and then probably bring it back as far as I can, and then go straight up towards the proportioning valve. So that's, that ain't gonna be too hard, because it's just a couple of 90-degree bends. So there you go. So here we are underneath the car. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is the crossover hardline for the right and left front brakes. And you see this clip here. There's one over here too. So you can't see it, but formed into this clip underneath, going into the frame, there's another hole above the bolt hole, and that goes right into the frame and keeps it from twisting it around. But with that, look at how this is bent. It comes down at a fairly good angle, got this nice bend going in, right? But now it kind of it has to go this way and then curve down, and then there's this bend right here, and none of this what it was before. So I'm going to take this out and see what I can do with it, because it just looks all strange and all this. Look at this jog right here. What is this? I don't know, because this was all pre-formed out of the kit. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring this out of here. I'm going to mess with it for a while and see what I can do with it. Okay, here we are back again. So I got the line out and straightened this thing out, and it looks quite a bit better, I think. So yeah, this is the original routing for the right wheel. So coming down to this clamp here, coming along, and I straightened it all out and kind of put an arc in it. I know it's kind of hard to tell in these cramped quarters. That's a little bit better view, I guess. And came across, and this, just trying to get this clamp in was a real bear, just because of the guidepost or guide spike that's made into this brake line clamp. This, if you look right here, see this hollow part sort of right here? Well, when they stamp this out, this is peeled back, and that spike is going into the hole, into the frame, and keeping it from twisting back and forth. And just that angle is just a real pain in the ass. So anyway, got it curved pretty good. I'm fairly happy with it. For peace of mind, I'm probably gonna put one in the center right here. Fix this so it just holds. And this runs up to the top there. Way up here. Up to the frame rail. And this is clearing the headers pretty good. So, get up top. I'll show you what I do up there. Okay, now we're up top. This is the U-bend I made earlier. So this is the plan. This one's going to go to the right. And this is going to curve over, just how you see. And it's going to continue on down. I'm going to match this up with the main line that goes to the back. It's going to run down parallel to that, down to the end here, down to the bottom where this curves at, and then make a turn towards the front of the car. I'm going to marry it up with this fitting right here with a union. And you can see that, like right here, it's coming away from the frame, right? See this, how that moves like that? So when I get this all together and do the measurements and all that, I'm going to fix it so that pushes up against there, and that'll make it away from the header pipes even more. And then this one on the bottom, right, that's going to come out the bottom, and that's going to go back towards the back, and it's going to run parallel to the other two lines as well, and that'll go down to the bottom and make a turn towards the front of the car along the frame rail here a little bit, and I'll make a short line that'll come straight up, and then I'll make a short line that comes straight up and comes across the frame rail here, and I am going to try and get the two unions to be like close together so it's aesthetically pleasing and to my satisfaction anyway. We'll see how that runs. I got parts on order. They're coming. It's going to take a couple of days. And also, I've got some aluminum stock coming. And with these three lines running parallel to each other, I'm going to make custom brake line clamps. They're going to be 3 holes. There'll be a 5/16, a 3/16, and a 3/16, and I'll make 2 or 3 that'll run down through here, and they'll clamp all together and keep them all in one spot together, so it looks better than just like kind of like gaggling down there and all that. So that is it for this episode. So that does it for this installment. If you're watching all the way through, greatly appreciated that you did. I know I'm not the most exciting thing on YouTube, but this is something I just like to do. Share along with this journey, getting this Keep back on the road. And so with that, please like, subscribe, and share. I am out of here. Be cool.